There's nothing like being in the green room behind the scenes. That's right. There's no green over here. There's blue and there's blue, but there is no green. There's no green. One day we're going to have green in the green room. All right, but here's what I like to do. I like to start off every single episode, not by reading a long bio, because gee whiz, you can go read her bio. We sent that out. You'll find her online. So let me ask the one question you all are asking. Who is Natalie? And more importantly, what is Natalie up to these days?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Shay. I am so excited to be here and to share. I'm Natalie, and I run a small business helping other small business owners attract ideal clients who can pay for their services without time-sucking marketing strategies. And I run my business for 4 years. After a career in marketing and brand strategy, I really just saw this need to help other small business owners and entrepreneurs navigate the information overload that is online marketing and social media, and how complicated those can be when we're just trying to grow a business and find clients who appreciate working with us, who value our time, and who we can truly help with our services. So that's what I do now. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here and share more of my tips and tricks that I've learned not only throughout my career in marketing, but also as a small business owner myself.
Natalie, I love your energy. I love what you're talking about. There are folks out there that may have a question. We're going to get started. We'll have something fancy for them. I know all that. But they might be curious, is this going to be a conversation where they got to throw some fairy dust in the air and clients magically fall to them? Take a moment, if you would. And I know this is an unfair question in a minute or two, but they might be wondering, what's Natalie's big why? Like, why does Natalie get up every single day, and why does Natalie do what she do?
Yes, such a good question. And no, there won't unfortunately be any fairy dust that's part of this conversation. I can promise you that. So you're going to get really great information this evening as far as how to use marketing that works really well for your small business. But in terms of my why, my parents were very entrepreneurial growing up. Mm-hmm. They owned a small business. And from a very young age, my dad was all about, you need to start a business. You need to start a business since I was very young. And at the time, it was kind of like, okay, Dad, whatever, Dad knows best. But I feel like that just really stuck with me, and seeing the fact that they had something that they had built together and that meant a lot for our family and allowed my mom to spend a lot of time with us kids growing up. By the time that I was in my career, I wanted more of that, right? And I wanted to help bring it to other people. And that was really important to me. It was not only how do I create a business and a life that I am super excited about, but how do I also influence others in a way that is really meaningful for them, and and not with fairy dust, but with very tangible, helpful tools. Because my background is in live events. I used to put on like music festivals and beer festivals, and I like to say I'm really scrappy as a result, because when you are doing live events or virtual events now, you got to go with the flow, and you got to put things together and make things happen. And so that's what I love doing for my business, for my clients, and just making it less about the fairy dust and more about, okay, how do we actually get things done? And what is the result of that hard work?
I like it. How do you get things done? But more importantly, what is, as you said, the results of the hard work? I'm super excited. I can't wait. I know we're going to get started in a second, but for those folks that are tuning in, the single mom, the married couple, the person's been running the business all day long. From this conversation, what should they expect? Take a minute or two and just say, you know what? When we get started, we're going to get started in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. But we do. What should they expect from this conversation?
Yeah, they should expect tools and actionable guidance on what they can go do to better market their small businesses. And I like to share that you don't need all these fancy tools. You don't need all the software you think you do, or the fancy email platform, or thousands of dollars to spend on Facebook ads. All of those things, of course, have a place in your marketing. I'm not saying that they don't, but when you are getting started and when you are on your own, or you have a really small team, it's very important that you are using your resources as efficiently and effectively as you can, and spending time on things that are really worthwhile for your business. And so coming out of today's conversation, you'll know, here's how I can go make a difference for my business. And here's how I can start to actually get traction with my marketing versus feeling, like throwing spaghetti at the wall, which I hear a lot of when I speak to small business owners is it seems like I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall. So I want to help everyone avoid that after today's conversation.
Oh, man, I love it. That's super amazing. For those folks that are watching, Michelle MacArthur is out there that says, awesome, amen, at Natalie Swan. She's out there watching right now. Karen is watching. I see you out there, Michael, my man, down in Florida. Look, you're in for a treat. This will be one of those conversations, I promise you, that'll put money in your pocket. There's some conversations we have, we're helping folks. But this is all about what the entrepreneur needs right now in order to scale their business, and some of them stay in business. We'll be back in 5. I know we got a show. 4, 3. It's my favorite part. 2, 1. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission really is to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And, I like to always start off by sharing 3 visions because I think it's important. It keeps us grounded. It's part of our methodology. It's part of our belief system. And I believe you have 3 visions. I believe you have a vision for yourself. There's a certain way you want to live. There's a certain car that you want to drive. There's certain clothes that you want to put on, and it takes resources, which means it takes revenue to do that. And then I believe there's a second vision you have. You have a vision for your loved ones. I mean, the ones you care the most about, the ones that you want to take time to do things when you want to do them. You want your freedom. Tomorrow I have opportunity to take Mother there. She's 73 years old, over to get the second shot. Now, depending on when you see this long lost video, you'll know what the second shot is, right? And it feels good to be able to take time off and be able to go do that, and then to go spend time with Mother there, who's 15 minutes down the road. Some of you want to send your kids to a school of choice. Some of you want to write a check for a cause you believe in, or write a check for someone's health care insurance. It takes resources. I know. Back to you need some revenue. I get it. Then there's a third resource you need. You need a vision, I should say, for the people you were called to serve. And how important is that? Imagine for a moment that you're a Noah, and I always use an analogy of Noah in the Bible, and you don't have to be a believer. I always say that, although I am a believer. And imagine if Noah was getting started. He's in the Bible. He has to go on this mission. He could have built his own little boat for him and his family and been just fine. But no, he had this bigger vision that he had the experience from God to do. He had the expertise to do. And right before he gets started, it took resources. And someone said, Noah, there's a knock at the door. Someone runs in and says, Noah, yo. They did say the word yo back then. Yo, no, there's no hammers in the house. No hammers, no big deal. Can someone grab that, please? Yes, get the door. Noah, I want to report there's no nails. No hammer, no nails. And then finally someone in the back says, no! There's no wood and there's no people. Whew. What do? You have a business with no leads. That's the problem. But don't panic, because this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, with you, the one and only Natalie Swan is in the house. What's up, Natalie? How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much, Shay. I am so excited to be here and to share what I have with everyone that is tuning in, with all of you small business owners, entrepreneurs who have a dream, who have a vision. As you said, for all of those things, I'm here to share what I can and to be helpful. So thank you again so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here, by the way. And for Aisha that's out there watching right now, Kelvin is watching right now, they're tuning in. Let me just address the elephant in the room if I can. Okay, can I just do that? What's the number one challenge in your mind of folks have in terms of generating leads? It's not the first time as a business owner they've heard, you need some customers. You need some customers. You need some customers. But yet, they're struggling with it. Talk to us about that. What's one of the number one challenges? You've been doing this for a while that you're seeing out there.
Yeah, so one of the biggest challenges that I see really is the information overload that is marketing your business, specifically marketing your business online, and how to use social media to do that effectively. So what is happening in the online space is that there are so many different opinions. And I've heard, you can have 10 different experts talk about marketing and have 8 different opinions. And not only that, but some of those opinions are actually conflicting. And so as a small business owner, you're ready to go, you're ready to dive in, to do the research, to learn the thing, to figure out, okay, I know I need leads, I know I need customers, I need people in the door. So I need to get in front of people. And I know how powerful social media is in terms of the numbers of users and how much time we as a people spend on social media. But then you go try to apply that to your business and to figure out, how do I actually use this thing? And what happens is you hear so many different conflicting opinions about what is actually useful. And so what happens typically is that we'll try one thing, right? We'll try, okay, I'm going to try to run Facebook ads and see if that gets me leads. And maybe I do that for a few months and it doesn't really work out. And so then I hire a consultant who builds me a different strategy and I try to apply that. And, maybe let's say it's on Pinterest or something, and that doesn't work out. And so then I'm like, well, neither of those have worked out. What if I go over and try something new, on another platform? And so what ends up happening is that instead of spending time working on a system, a process that we know can reliably bring us leads, we're now spending so much time just trying to learn new social media platforms, just trying to learn new tools. And not only that, but then how to actually use them in a way that is super helpful to our business, that we can repeat, that we know is going to work for us. And so that's really one of the biggest challenges, is just sifting through all of this information that is marketing our businesses online and that is using social media in a really effective way to grow our business.
Using social media in an effective way to grow our business. Take a moment, if you can, and share just maybe one idea. For those folks that are out there that are watching right now, you can pay this message forward. I mean, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, whatever time you're watching, do me a favor. Natalie showed up for one reason and one reason only, and that is to serve plus add value. Serve plus add value. Hit the watch party button. Hit the share button and pay this message forward to another entrepreneur, another small business owner, someone else out there that wants to make a bigger difference in the world. And this message will help them. Hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. Pay the message for it. Go ahead and do it. Do it now. Do it now. For everyone that's doing that, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Now, Natalie, take a moment. If you had to say, Shay, here's one idea for Michelle Parks, for example. Thanks for joining, who's out there watching. What's one idea? You say, you know what? There's a lot of ways to do it, but here's one idea that I want to share with you. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm asking for a second one. Don't worry. But here's one idea that I can use right now that can really help me generate leads in my business.
Absolutely. So going back to social media specifically and how we can think about using that, we need to know where our ideal client is. And if you're just getting started, that can be a little bit tricky, but you probably have some type of idea as to where this person hangs out online, what they enjoy doing, where they enjoy, participating in the conversation and engaging with others. And so think about that. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it where is that online? And once you understand that, once you've put thought and intention into that, consider where you enjoy showing up and how you enjoy showing up. Because one of the other challenges that I see is that not only is marketing overwhelming, but when we try to do it in certain ways because we think we're supposed to, right? We think we're supposed to be now on Clubhouse, and before it was, oh, we need to be on TikTok doing all these dances. But if we don't enjoy those things, then it becomes really hard to show up and to have fun with it and to really connect with potential clients, with potential leads on those platforms, because we don't even want to be on the platforms. And so I would say, you really need to identify where your ideal client is, where you like being as well, and then finding a way to actually get in front of those potential leads, those ideal clients of yours. There are a lot of different ways that you can do this. But I will say that just by posting more and more content isn't necessarily getting you actively in front of that person. And Shay, I'm sure you have a lot to say on this in terms of your lead generation, but you really need to be having conversations with your ideal client. And you really need to be engaging with these people, especially as you're getting started, because you don't necessarily know what you don't know. And you can get a lot more specific as you talk to people, as you're helpful to them, and also as you hear what they're struggling with and what their challenges are and their big questions, because then you're more prepared to address them. So that is my tip, really, is simplify by identifying where your ideal client is, where you enjoy showing up, and also how you're going to proactively get in front of those people.
I love what you're doing. I think what you're doing is the most important resource for every entrepreneur. I mean, the number one reason that most businesses fail is not because they can't sell. It's not because there's no revenue. It's not because they don't have marketing. It's not because they don't have branding. I think the number one reason that most small business owners fail today is that they don't have a pipeline of leads that turn into buyers. And Michelle's here, and while she's laughing and joking, we're having a good time. For some of you, it's a real serious conversation. This is like really been a pain in your rear end. It really has. So don't worry. She's going to help. I'm going to ask her to talk to and share it in two different perspectives. I'm going to ask her to take a minute and talk to the person and the company that's been out there. You've been in business for more than 5 years. It doesn't matter if you just started or not, but you're running Facebook ads. You are running webinars, and you want to know, well, how do I attract people to my webinars, or what's one or two things I can do with my ads? So you're very experienced. And then I'm going to ask her after that to talk to the person that's trying to learn this thing. I mean, you're out there, but she's saying, talk to people. What do I say? Like, okay, if I had to start somewhere, and I'm a content creator, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm now in this digital world, and I can't, like Shay, I can't go on stages no more, and I'm not meeting people, and I got going to conventions. So where would I start? And so she's going to have both. So it's a two-part question, Natalie. I hope it's fair, which is, one, talk to the folks that are experienced and doing things, and then come to the other side, if you would, if you don't mind, and talk to the other individuals that are trying to figure the thing out.
Yes, such a good question. So the more experienced businesses, what I would say is, it is important at some point. It will more than likely be important at some point for you to outsource your marketing and for you to bring in some of that really specific expertise, like, for example, a Facebook ads expert, or a webinar expert, or a virtual event expert, or SEO, or whatever it is. And so I always say, when you're ready to invest in your marketing, you really need to be clear about what it is you're trying to do and how the person who can help you has the very specific expertise of what it is you're trying to do. And not only that, be really clear with what the expectations are of, hiring someone to come in and help you. Some of these marketing initiatives do take time to get traction. And a lot of marketing is an experiment, right? A lot of it is sort of see what works and do more of it. And so you really need to pull in someone that has that experience, that has that testimonials, that can clearly outline for you, this is what this process is going to look like. This is what I need from you. This is when we're going to check in and optimize or make the campaign better, whatever it is. And the more specific that you can be with that, the better. Because what I do see is that people invest in marketing before they understand it themselves. And that can a lot of times lead to wasting money, because we think, okay, I want leads, so I know Facebook has a lot of data, and I can probably get in front of my ideal client. So I should run, a few $1,000s on Facebook ads. But if you don't really know how to use Facebook, or you're not working with an ads expert that's really specific to what it is that you do, what ends up happening is then sometimes you get to the end of spending that money and you still don't have any leads or clients. And not only that, but the hardest thing is that when you don't know what to improve. And I think this is a really big thing, and a good segue into when you are just getting started out on your own. Similarly, I will say, be really clear with what your goals are at each step of the process. So marketing is expansive, as we know, and as everyone listening to this knows. I hear a lot, I need exposure for my business, right? I need visibility. Or I hear I need sales. I need to make more money. But really, there's so much that needs to go on in addition to just being visible and getting in front of people and making sales, meaning nurturing those leads, having some way to maintain that relationship if they're not ready to buy. And so when you can break down your marketing in that way, it's so much easier for you to say, hey, this piece of it isn't working, and so therefore I need to make a change. Does that answer your question, Shay?
That's a good way and a good segment of how the question needs to be answered. Absolutely. You were on a roll. I was like, you know what?
Okay, good.
Minister Rosa Hodge is out there watching right now. Calvin's watching right now. For those folks that are watching, hit the share button, hit the watch party button, pay this message forward. And when you do that, when that little box pops up, just write in the box, serve plus add value, hashtag Natalie Swan. Just put serve plus add value. They'll figure out how she serves. They'll figure out who she is at Natalie Swan. Hashtag Natalie Swan, because she's here tonight to help us all grow our business. Natalie, can you take a minute or two or maybe share a big challenge you had in your business or maybe a client and how you were able to implement one of these systems and it helped either grow your business or grow someone's business that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll share for my business, and my story is a little unique because my background is in marketing. Mm-hmm. And so I came from having all of these resources at my disposal to run marketing effectively, meaning I was, managing agencies, had website developers, graphic designers I was working with, email marketing, managers. And so I knew a lot of the best practices, and I knew, okay, when we create content, we need to be putting it everywhere, and we need to show up in all these different channels, and we need to be doing more and more and more. And so when I transitioned into running my own business, it was like, how can I possibly do all of these things that I know I'm supposed to do for, marketing by myself and as I'm getting going. And so I really just took a step back and thought, what do I have in front of me right now that I can use in order to let people know about my business and in order to let people know who I might be able to help with my business? And so I wrote down a bunch of people that I had met in my life from, past jobs and just my friends, whoever it was, that I knew had small businesses as well. And I was like, hey, can I just have a few minutes of your time? I would love to hear about your journey as an entrepreneur. I would love to better understand, some of the lessons that you learned. And I just want to have a conversation with you. And that led to some of my first clients. And so I think it's just not overcomplicating what it is we need to be doing. That said, again, as you know, when we're able to build a system around lead gen, when we're able to make this more of a process and something that we know how to get leads, you want to get to that place where it's like, when I need leads, this is what I go do to get those leads. But if you're just starting out, and again, this is a lesson that I sort of had to take a step back on for my own business, is don't overcomplicate it and don't feel like all of the shiny things that are out there that people tell you are going to solve your problems, like, again, the fancy software or the new social media platform or whatever it is, like, you don't need to have all of those things in order to grow a successful business.
Yeah, and as folks are listening to you, one of the popular things, this might be an unfair question, so you can pass, but you know about doing events. And there's a number of speakers out there. There are a number of authors. There are a number of network marketers. There are a number of folks that are course creators right now that obviously because of where we are in the world, are not doing live events. And they might be, well, Shay, in the past, I could generate leads because people would buy tickets or whatever. My question to you, and for those folks that are listening, I can hear you out there. You might be saying, Shay, just ask her about virtual events and virtual summits and what's a good strategy or a 1, 2, 3 strategy that she's done. And she's worked with folks on virtual events, I'm sure. She's worked with folks, I'm sure, on getting your master classes. And she worked on folks and getting people attracted to what you're doing, by the way, because those are leads and helping build your audience. But now you're forced to go virtual. And I say this because I was talking to someone just 4 days ago, which have been Friday now, depending on when you're watching this, and they were talking about the hotel now is moving them to the next year. So they already moved it out one year and they're moving them again. They say, well, we're now going to do a virtual show. We don't have a choice. And we've got to now get these tickets sold and some other things. So my question to you is take a moment and talk a little about, virtual events, virtual summits, whatever you want to call it, and how maybe to attract some leads to those, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take it a little bit different if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
To speak more directly to my experience, but I will say with events in general, and this was a huge part of my event marketing strategy, is that people are involved with events, like meaning there are more people that have a stake in the game when there's an event. So whether it's your speakers or, your partners or things like that. And so, for example, I used to help market a music festival event. And with that, all of the performers for that music festival event, we actually used as promoters for the event, and they were going out and they were sharing it with their audiences, the opportunities they had, doing fun giveaways, things like this. So think about ways in which you can make it mutually beneficial to not only you to get leads by having people sign up for this event and of course join your email list, but also with all of the people who are going to be participating in the event who also want other people there, right? Because if I'm speaking at an event, I certainly don't want to be speaking to no one. I want people to come. And so I'm going to tell all my people to come to the event as well. Yeah. So that was one that I can see definitely applying to virtual events as well. And I think just in general too, having a virtual event on topics that your audience deeply cares about, because I think a lot of times people spend so much time creating beautiful, lead magnets or virtual events or whatever it is on topics that they care about and think are important, but not necessarily around what the audience really needs to hear at the time. And so by having those two things, right, like you have that event that people are super excited to go to, it's compelling, it's helpful, it's solving problems, as you say too, adding value. And then also making sure that you really are building relationships with the partners, with the speakers, whoever it is, and getting them involved in the marketing as well.
Getting them involved in the marketing, and that's the most important part, getting everyone involved in the marketing. And why is that? Because success is a team sport.
Yes.
You can only get so far by yourself, and everyone needs a Natalie Swan on their team. As we move to a segment that's called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that are watching, what we're about to do. If this is your first time, we'll explain in a minute. For those folks that know what I'm about to do, look right below the video, and write those words. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that say, what are you talking about? Today is my January 1st represents one of those moments where you make a decision. And you don't wait for the calendar to say January 1st. You create a January 1st moment when you make a decision. And it's probably 1,000 decisions you make throughout the day. And any one of those decisions could shift the trajectory of your life. You make a decision that you're going to eat hamburgers and French fries with salt, pepper, ketchup. Hot sauce for my sons, by the way. Or you make a decision, you're going to sit back and you're going to open up the refrigerator. Inside the refrigerator, there's some kale. This thing's good, doesn't it? There's some broccoli. That's really great. There's some Brussels sprouts. That's a January 1st moment. Or you make a decision that you're going to work out. Yes! You remember that? That was one of your goals. Or you're going to binge watch and watch Netflix. It's a January 1st moment. So it's a do-over, January 1st moment. It's a fresh start, January 1st moment. It's my past no longer equals the future. So my question to Natalie, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what goes to your mind? What do you hear?
I hear, like you said, a chance to go forward. And how do we relate that to today's conversation really is get started. even if you're uncomfortable, even if you're like, I still don't fully understand, how to be using Facebook for my business, how to be using whatever tool it is that you want to start using to generate leads, to have these conversations with your ideal clients, go for it, because the only way that you're going to get better is to do it. And the only way that you're going to learn is to do it. And one example I give of this, which is fun to talk about live with you, Shay, is that I used to be so nervous about going live. And I remember the first time I did it a couple years ago, and I am telling you, I felt so uncomfortable. The video was extremely awkward, if I'm being very transparent. And I got better because I pushed the button and I went live and I talked to a screen by myself. And now it's easy to show up, and it's easy to to provide value and to share what I know and to pass it forward and pay it forward, because I took that, what felt like at the time, a big risk. And so it might not feel super easy to you, and it is going to be hard work. But if you do simplify it and you just get really clear about, this is how I'm going to do it, and it's going to feel a little bit like, ooh, am I ready? And the answer is, even if you're not, move forward and take that first step, because then you're going to do it and you're going to say, okay, this part of it could be a little bit better next time. So now I'm going to build on that. And keeping that moving forward versus continuing to start over is what's going to get you that traction and that confidence.
Makes a lot of sense. There's some folks out there right now, they're typing, today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And they're so excited, just like they were back on December 31st after a couple drinks on the back of a napkin, cocktail napkin, of course. They wrote down their goals, and we know how that landed. And so my question to you is that we understand that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? They struggle with consistency. So my question to you is, what's one of your secrets in order to be consistent, in order to hashtag stay the course, hashtag stay the course, hashtag stay the course?
Yes. And consistency is huge, and consistency with a purpose, right? Like, what am I working towards? Because one of the things that I like to share really is that, posting more on social media doesn't necessarily mean consistency, right? It's showing up and it's thinking through, how can I be better with this than I was yesterday? And so one of the ways that I'm able to do that really is just being okay when things don't work out the way that I think they're going to. And that's going to happen in business, right? Like, why would we not expect the same thing of our marketing? Because we've all pivoted, we've all adjusted, we've all learned and grown. And that's why we've chosen being small business owners and being entrepreneurs. And so for me, I'm able to be consistent when I say, hey, every day I am learning and I'm doing my best, and this is how I'm going to do it even better tomorrow. So that helps me frame it a lot, and also avoid feeling like it needs to be perfect, feeling like I need to wait until I'm ready, which who even knows what that means? So just going for it, and then knowing that consistency is an opportunity to learn and grow.
Consistency is an opportunity to learn and to grow. The folks out there right now, they've been listening to you like, wow, Shay, this is powerful. Like, okay, I get it. Like, she's a source, Shay. She can help me declutter all this going on and help me find the strategy maybe that works just for me. But I'm curious. Like, Shay, 2 questions. Okay, I hear you. What are you saying? Well, number one, what type of clients does Natalie work with these days? And you listen at home, you listen wherever you are with one ear. Like, okay, am I the type of client that she works with? Or do I need to refer to somebody that I know? And then the other question they have, Natalie, is how can they best contact you? And you listen as you're listening, because you want to know, how can you contact Natalie? How can you stay in the conversation with Natalie over and beyond today? And I think that's very fair. So, Natalie, go ahead and share with them what type of clients you work with, and, of course, how can they best connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work with clients who are established small business owners, meaning they've run their business for a bit. They have a business model that works for them, but they are just feeling just the overwhelm of, how do I actually build a marketing system that works for me? My specialty is primarily service-based online entrepreneurs who have businesses, who work with other small businesses and entrepreneurs. So that is my ideal client, and who I typically typically work with at this time. And in terms of getting a hold of me, the best place is my Instagram account. It's Glacy Brands. I'll spell that out for you. It's GLACIBRANDS. And my messages are always open there. I share a ton of valuable content, all related to small business marketing. I go live there frequently as well. So if you missed anything tonight or you want to know more, that is a wonderful place to get that information.
Ah, man, that is super incredible. Thanks so much for sharing. Give them the website one more time and spell it so they get it, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's an Instagram account, and spell it GLACIBRANDS.
Okay. You gotta give us the backstory. You can't leave us out there. You gotta give us. I mean, you don't think you're gonna just walk away and give us the Instagram handle and not give us the backstory. So we want to know the backstory behind this thing here, please.
Absolutely. So I love glaciers, and I fell in love with glaciers when I was traveling. Back when we did that. And it was just such an inspiring moment for me when I was traveling and seeing these massive, massive, things that I'd never seen before. And I just felt like I want to have more experiences like this in life. I want to be inspired. I want to spend my time with my family and with people who matter to me. And I want to help other people do that too. And so I named my company Glacy, which is short for glacier. And that's just something that sticks with me every day is how important that is, and what I do and what I help other people do as well, really is let's live our lives and let's go out and do things. So that is the story.
Let's live our lives. Let's do things, but let's do things together. I love it. Oh, I always love the backstory. We're moving to a segment now called Rapid Fire. And Rapid Fire is when we ask any question and Natalie can answer or not answer. And Natalie's been pretty cool. She said, Shay, let's just hang out with the people.
Yeah.
Let's just have a conversation. And so I'm not restricted to have to ask so-and-so question. I love that. But Natalie, one of the questions that we ask almost every single episode, it's very important to us, is this one question, which is, of all the mentors you've had along this journey of life, and you've had so many mentors along this journey of life, what's one lesson that you've learned from any of your mentors that you can pass on to us? Please share.
Yes. So one of my mentors shared with me that I don't have to have all the answers. And I'm someone that likes to show up, and I like to, have everything lined up and feel well prepared. And when I first got it started with marketing consulting, I did this full time before I ran my business. I got so nervous going into client meetings and, presenting the strategy and sharing my thoughts and my expertise, because I was worried about what might happen and what questions might come up. And it came from a place of wanting to be really prepared. And someone said, and my mentor said to me, you don't have to have all the answers, right? You've done amazing work. You have to show up and share this work. And then if something comes up that you don't know, we'll go figure it out. And that has served me so well in my small business and so well in working with other clients, because it's honest, right? None of us have all the answers, and all of us are trying to learn. And so that has just allowed me to really show up more fully as myself and to say, this is what I have and this is what I can do. And, this is something that I don't know the answer to right now, and that's okay. And so that has just really made a big impact on me. I
love it. You don't have to get it right. You just got to get going. You don't have to have all the answers. Done is better than perfect. I love it. Oh, my gosh. That is so cool. I'm sure you read a lot of books. And this is one of the questions people ask on these conference calls. What book are you reading these days? But I want you to think of maybe one book that's had impact on your life. Now, you got to take the Bible off, okay? That's not a book. That's just its own institution, okay? And take off Think and Grow Rich. That's just in another planet. Okay, but if a book that's just top of mind to you, no matter what's out there, what pops top of mind to you, and what impact has it had for you?
Yes, The Power of Habit by Charles. Oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up his last name.
I know, I love that book. Oh, I love it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes!
We'll have to put it in the notes below, his last name. But I loved that book, and I felt like I read it at a time when it was really impactful in my life. I'm a distance runner. I used to run a lot of marathons, and I was very curious about why I liked so much structure in my life and why that was so helpful to me in achieving my goals and being able to, run for 26 miles at a time. And I just read that book and was like, oh, I feel like I've learned so much about myself and about how to use this to my benefit going forward in all aspects of my life, right? Whether it's business, personal, whatever it is. And coming back to it's January 1, like I feel like having those habits and just making it easy on ourselves to live life the way that we want to. And that's what I took away from that book.
You can't just drop that on us. You can't just say, I run several marathons. I mean, I run 5 marathons, okay? So I'm a marathon runner as well. I love it, by the way. And so I'm a runner because I'm out there by myself. And so you've got to share. And this is just for fun. We're in rapid fire segment for those people that are watching for the first time. And this is when we get to ask any question. And it's so cool. But they might be wondering, gosh, she runs several marathons, Shay. She talked about the power of habit. Can she share maybe one lesson that she's learned from running marathons and maybe give us a little experience? And I know there's so many, and I've run 5, right? So I know it's an unfair question. You said, she ain't say 5. I'm like, 5, God mercy, geez. You're like, oh, I run several. It's just kind of what I do, 26.2 miles. And it's never about the marathon, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the training. Mm-hmm. It's about the miles you're out there by yourself or with a group. So give us one lesson. One lesson is you gave us the power habit, you related it, but you can't leave us, ladies and gentlemen, not going to let her leave you out there. She's not going to just toss out marathons and not give you something. So share, what's one idea, what's a lesson that you learned from running marathons or training for marathons? And tell us one of your marathon stories. We got to hear it. Come on.
Yeah, sure. And this is embarrassing, and you're probably not going to believe me, Shay, but I've run 6, so I'm not just one-upping you. That's the number that I've run.
Well, I wouldn't one up you when I dropped 5. Like I thought you were gonna say I run 10 or 12. 6. I still got time. But I know you're gonna pass me by because I have my AARP card. Okay, so you're gonna pass me by during your time, by the way. So I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And it's been a while since I've run one. But lessons, I think that just the instant gratification is not where it's at, right? It's worth the time. And you're absolutely right. The marathon is not about the 26 miles. It's about the 5 months of getting up for me, at times it was 4:00 in the morning and running in the dark. And it's about those moments where it's like, I really can do anything. And if I'm committed to this, it's going to be amazing. And then when you achieve that goal, just that feeling of elation, I don't know what other word to use. Like you just feel so proud of yourself. And business is super similar, right? And we don't want to go for the for the overnight success or the hack or anything like that, right? It's about putting in the work and learning and following the system and getting to that result that just makes you feel that much better for having put in the work in the first place. So that's how I would relate that.
What was one of the reasons that you decide to run the marathon?
I decided to run it because I had volunteered at the Chicago Marathon at the finish line, and I was running.
Oh, I saw you do it. Oh, that looks good. I didn't see all the rest of the stuff, but y'all look like y'all having fun. Yes, I'll meet y'all at the finish line.
You're not wrong. But no, I was running at the time. I was doing several half marathons and things like this. But I just, it was inspiring. And it was one of those things where I was like, I wonder if I could do that too. And at the time, I don't think I really believed that I could, but I wanted to test myself. And as small business owners, that's what we do, right? We say like, this is going to be something I'm going to try, and I'm going to give it everything I have. And so that's really what inspired me to do it. And it ended up being really fun too. Yes, difficult for sure, but certainly worth it.
Oh man, that's amazing. Second to last question, if we can, is we're talking, what should people expect from Natalie going forward in the future? What's something big that's going on for you over the next 3 to 6 months? That's what long-term future is these days. Next 3 to 6 months, by the way. No, I ain't say next year. Over the next 3 to 6 months, what should people expect from the one and only Natalie Swan?
Yes, absolutely. I know that is long term, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is new for me is I am building a membership program, and the purpose of that really is because I want to help more people, and I want to specifically help those small business owners who are new to business, who feel like they understand how powerful online marketing can be and social media marketing can be, but they don't really know where to go, and they're struggling to get started with that. And so I just really see a need to work more closely with people like that, and to be a resource, and to be someone that helps guide you into finding marketing that works for you and that feels good, and that doesn't doesn't feel like you're constantly chasing the new thing. So that's what I am most excited about right now.
Wow, I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited for what you have going on. I'm super excited for what's coming up next. Let me turn over to you. Let me first say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. You're here. You played full out. You came ready, and you played full out. Ladies and gentlemen, she didn't ask for a Cash App payment. She didn't ask for no Zelle payment. She said, I'm here to serve and add value. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for serving. Thank all of you who've been out there watching, and all of you hit the share button, and all of you paid this message forward. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. I want to turn over to you, Natalie, to have your final thoughts. First, tell folks how they can best connect with you again, so they're very clear on that. And then your final thoughts to empower, to inspire folks. And these fiber optic lines will go off to close us out. So once again, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And thank Rhea. Rhea is amazing. Rhea is a rock star. Rhea is incredible, and she's a big-time collaborator. So thanks a lot, Rhea. That's your shout-out. Over to you.
She is fabulous. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Shay. Thank you so much, Happy Entrepreneur Show. This has been such a pleasure. The time has just flown by. I don't know about for you, but for me, this has been a blast. And thank you to all of you who have joined, who have listened, who have participated this evening, today, whenever it is you're listening to it. It makes it so much more fun to do these lives when there are people on the other side of it. And so thank you endlessly for this opportunity. It has been wonderful. In terms of getting in touch with me, the best place really is Instagram. I'll spell it again. My name there is GLACIBRANDS. That's Glacy Brands. And I'm Natalie Swan, and I'm happy to chat marketing and small business with you anytime. We're stronger together, and we can all help build one another up. And so please contact me if you have any questions at all, and I'd be happy to chat.
I love it. With that being said, thank you so much again for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you for watching. You out there right now, I want you to know as you're watching, you're incredible, that you're amazing, that you're incredible. And how do you give Natalie a digital applause? Hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. Pay this message forward to another entrepreneur, someone else that want to do what? Generate more leads and not be worried about all that clutter going on, because today is your January 1st. You can have the system that attracts the people that you can help. Today is your January 1st. You can have unlimited qualified leads. Just connect with Natalie. It can happen for you. And for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. So put your sunglasses on. The future is bright, and I can't wait to see you. For those folks that want to know who's making all that noise, who's doing all that screaming, well, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember this, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in that moment, and you got to make it count. God bless, and we wish you success. Thanks a lot, Natalie. You're a rock star. We appreciate you. Bye-bye. And bye-bye to everyone out there. Peace. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on
Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.